Unit 44, the Abolitionist Movement. Beginning in the 1780s, during the time of the American Revolution, a movement to abolish the institution of slavery and the slave trade arose in Western Europe and the United States. Those who gave their support to this movement were called abolitionists. From the 16th to the 19th century, about 15 million Africans were kidnapped and transported across the Atlantic Ocean to the Americas. They were sold as laborers on the sugar and cotton plantations of South and North America and the islands of the Caribbean Sea. In the late 1600s, Quaker and Mennonite Christians in the British colonies of North America were protesting slavery on religious grounds. Nevertheless, the institution of slavery continued to expand, especially in the southern colonies. By the late 1700s, ideas on slavery were changing. An intellectual movement in Europe, the Enlightenment, made strong arguments in favor of the rights of individuals. The leaders of the American Revolution had issued a Declaration of Independence in 1776. And in this document, they enunciated a belief in the equality of all human beings. In 1789, the French Revolution began, and its basic document was the Declaration of the Rights of Man and of the Citizen. There was a gradual but steady increase in opposition to keeping human beings as private property. The first formal organization to emerge in the abolitionist movement was the Abolition Society, founded in 1787 in England. Its leaders were Thomas Clarkson and William Wilberforce. The Society's first success came in 1807, when Great Britain abolished the slave trade with its colonies. When slavery showed no signs of disappearing, the Anti-Slavery Society was founded in Britain in 1823 under the leadership of Thomas Fowell Buxton, a member of Parliament. In 1833, Parliament finally passed a law abolishing slavery in all British colonies. Slavery had been written into the United States Constitution in 1787, but a provision had also been made that permitted Congress to abolish the slave trade. Unfortunately, abolishment of the slave trade in 1808 coincided with a reinvigorated cotton economy in the South. From that time on, the North and South grew more and more different in economic and social attitudes. Between 1800 and 1830, the anti-slavery movement in the North looked for ways to eliminate slavery from the United States. One proposal was to colonize Liberia in Africa as a refuge for former enslaved people. Britain created a similar colony. Unit 45, the Eiffel Tower. The Eiffel Tower is probably the most famous landmark in the world. Not only does it dominate the skyline of Paris, but it is also a landmark of building construction history. When the French government was organizing the Centennial Exposition of 1889, a fair to commemorate the 100th anniversary of the French Revolution, the noted bridge engineer Alexandre Gustave Eiffel was asked to design and build a structure to symbolize the occasion. His finished product aroused both praise and criticism, and also a great deal of amazement. Nothing like the Eiffel Tower, a 984-foot or 300-meter tower of open lattice wrought iron, had never been built before. Not until the Chrysler Building was completed in New York in 1930 was there a taller structure in the world. The base of the tower consists of 4 semicircular arches, inspired by both artistic design and weight-bearing engineering considerations. Glass-walled elevators ascend on a curve up the legs of the tower to the first and second platforms. 2 pairs of elevators go from the second level to the third platform near the top, where the view extends for 50 miles or 80 kilometers on a clear day. After the 1889 fair closed, Eiffel realized that the only way to save his monument would be to find new and profitable uses for it. He supervised changes to accommodate a meteorological station and a military telegraph station. Further modifications were made for the expositions of 1900, 1925, and 1937. For many years, a public firm managed the Eiffel Tower, but in 1981, the city government of Paris took over its management. The tower underwent extensive renovation and reconstruction in preparation for its 100th anniversary in 1989. The renovation stripped off paint down to the girders, removed the excess weight of structures on the upper levels, and built new, lighter-weight facilities for visitors. On the first level are 3 glass-enclosed structures. One is a museum, the Cinemax, which shows films about the tower. The central structure comprises 2 levels, each of which has a restaurant. The third facility is a hall that provides space for business conferences, expositions, cultural events, and social gatherings. On the smaller second level, there is a souvenir shop and a snack bar. From this level, it is possible to get an excellent view of Paris without the need to ascend to the top.